Welcome to another edition of Blades Hockey. I'm your host for tonight, John McDonald, joined as always with my co-host, Coach Justin Nepple. Coach, we got the Blades versus a scrappy Wadena team coming to town. Break it down for us. What do we got tonight?
Yeah, this is a team that the Blades beat 5-3, but it was tied 3-3 late in the game in Wadena probably about a month and a half ago. And maybe a little less, maybe about a month ago. And that was in a stretch where the Blades were just starting to figure some things out. I think right after that they played Park Rapids and lost, but then they went on a tear where they just won like 6 games in a row or 7 games in a row. But the Wadena team, like we talked about, we didn't broadcast that, but we sat next to each other watching that game. This is a team that is a lot better than what they were last year from my perspective. They are playing a lot faster. They're playing more in the system, so you can tell they're a year older.
Sure, they a little thin, obviously. Short bench for them as the numbers are down. No JV team for them, and maybe the talent pool maybe not as deep as they're used to, but they have some very good hockey players, and like you said, they are very very well coached.
Yeah, I think that this is a team that looks like us. A couple of years ago, they return everybody next year, and they've got an absolute unit of a goalie. We were just talking to his dad over here a minute ago. He's a freshman. He has 1,500 saves already.
Yeah, and he began playing as an 8th grader, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. He played, took all the minutes last year. He's got all the minutes this year.
Grayson Meyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Grayson doing a heck of a job there. It's tough to play Bantams as an 8th grader. And he just stepped in and played high school against some pretty good programs. And again, with not the strongest squad in front of him, so seeing a lot of rubber, obviously making 1,500 saves already early on his career. Likely probably on pace to then shatter the Wadena save record.
He's got to be on pace. And I don't know what the state record is, but, man, he's got a good start at it, I can tell you that.
You bet. And yeah, like you mentioned, no one told Wadena they were supposed to lose last time these two teams played. Came out to a 2-goal lead. Blades had to claw back. Played maybe some of the sloppiest hockey of the year. Found a way to get the win with Mauer Lopin getting his first win in that game after Cale Gibbleson had got the hook early in the second. And Mauer came in right at the ship and I thought played extremely well, kept the Blades in it, probably made some saves to keep it a 2-goal game or a 1-goal game at points, and or even a tie game at points. And really, without his performance that game, I don't know that the Blades win.
No, I think he faced 10 shots and let one in. So that's roughly, a 90% save percentage, and I think anybody in high school would be happy with that.
Yeah, so kudos to Mauer on his first minutes with the big club and getting the win. So.
He's our freshman.
He is our freshman, yes.
Got 10 varsity saves and roughly 20-some minutes or 30 minutes of varsity time at this point in time.
So the nostalgia is hanging thick in the air tonight as it's senior night. Not the last home game, but it is senior night. So Blades seniors being a bit reflective as they'll take the ice with their parents here in pregame to show appreciation for all their parents have done for them throughout the years. And tonight we'll probably see the seniors get some bigger minutes throughout the lineup.
Yeah, that's typically what you want to do is allow the seniors get out a little bit more. A fair amount of the seniors already do see a lot of ice, so that's not going to be a problem. But there are some that have been asked to take JV minutes more than varsity, and they're probably going to see a little bit of varsity ice tonight.
One big change is Charlie Malmberg, number 23, is listed as a 4th-line wing, normally plays defense, so it'll be interesting to see if Charlie gets in the game as forward or maybe even plays a little bit of defense tonight for the Blades.
Yeah, I think if the hope would be the Blades can put themselves in a position where they feel comfortable enough to get some of these guys some ice time towards the end, and they're not going to be scraping together a victory, and that a guy like Charlie Malmberg can have some varsity ice here on senior night.
You bet. The Blades currently on a 2-game losing streak as they dropped a tough one on Monday night to Prairie Center in a game I thought they played very well enough to win. We're stung with a late mid-third period power play goal by the North Stars that kind of set them on pace to win the game. But a back-and-forth game. And then a real tough one on Tuesday in Crookston, as it was an early start. And I don't know that the Blades ever really got started in that one. That was a tough one to watch, as the Pirates took them down 5-0.
Yeah, that was a tough one to watch. You look at the Prairie Center game and the Crookston game, it was riddled with poor puck play and passing, right? It was a lot of turnovers, and you start looking at the game schedule. I think their last practice up to that point was on Wednesday, and they didn't get opportunities to pass and stick handle and things like that in a practice setting, and it showed.
You bet. Well, I'm going to take off because I got to get down to ice level here. I'll let you take over duties for a while, and we'll break. We'll come back. We'll talk about what the Blades need to do to finish strong throughout the rest of the year and hopefully secure themselves at least as high as maybe a possible 5th seed. I don't know that they're going to get home ice this year, but we'll chat about that in a few.
You enjoy your time with your senior. So as we reflect here on these seniors here, this is a group of kids, 10 of them I believe, 10, 11, 12, I can't remember for sure. These are guys that John and I actually coached a lot, starting way back at Mite. So a lot of these kids were 3, 4, 5 years old when they were hitting the ice, and John and I were coaching because we have kids that were on that team, and we wanted to contribute to the association, and the association has made great strides, and this is one of the first groups in a long time that we were able to form 2 teams, and we were able to play A hockey, and there was a lot of trends that were changed with this senior group. They were asked to do a lot of different things in order to improve the situation, and they were always asked to do something new, something that they couldn't look ahead. It's funny to say that a Pewee A or a Bantam A team or a tryout or any of those things would be something that you would want to be able to have some sort of floor plan or blueprint that you could look at, but these guys never had it. They had to figure it out the whole way through, so they're kind of a trailblazers as far as getting our organization going in the right direction, and I can tell you it wasn't always pretty. There was a lot of what people would say is unsuccessful seasons and whatnot, but I'll tell you what, these guys were gritty, and it was pretty successful. It was great to see these guys stick it out. As a group, they rally around each other and stick it out, and here we are, the Blades organization, top to bottom is sitting pretty healthy now, mostly because of some of what these guys did and stuck it out, and on the verge of having a much better season than last year. If they can pull off a couple wins, they had, I believe, 10 wins last year. They're sitting at 9 right now. So if they can, put a couple more together, they could break last year's win record. And so kudos to these guys. These guys are leadership. They were asked to play one year at the Bantam to jump up to varsity, and a lot of them were playing significant varsity minutes as freshman and sophomore, which isn't easy to do. So these guys gutted it out, and here they are. We get to
senior recognition event that we'd like to do. Right now, the seniors have left the ice to change their jerseys, and they'll be coming out here in just a moment. Go ahead and play them some more.
Yeah, Scott was cutting in here, and when the seniors do come out, we're going to cut away for Scott here so he can tell you a little bit about the senior class on the individual basis. So the juniors are lined up here. They're going to be welcoming the seniors out here. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 juniors out there. So going back to that, the senior class has been somebody that's been asked, like, even just coming into normal tryout situations, coming into normal varsity situations, it's been tough. This is the first time in a long time that we've had a JV team, or we've had a JV team, or missed not, they formed a Bantam team. around this group, and were asked to come out and participate as one of the first Bantam teams in over a decade or longer. So it's a great thing that these guys have done. They've paid it forward for the organization. They've paved a path for the kids in front of them in order to have a good experience here for the youth hockey, the Bantams, Peewees, and Squirts and Mites that are all out there working every single day, playing games and whatnot. And they do look up to these guys. I don't think these guys quite recognize that, but as a Peewee coach myself, I know like these guys, the guys that are on the Peewee ice and Squirt ice, idolize them.
Defenseman Josh Hoffman of Wahpeton High School. Josh's parents are Brad and Stephanie Hoffman. His plans this fall include to pursue a finance degree. His best hockey memory is when the team traveled to Blaine and stayed overnight in a hotel his freshman year. His message to the younger players is to do the right thing when no one is looking. Our next senior, number 4, is a winger, Michael Peterson from Wahpeton High School. Michael's parents are Keith and Brandy Peterson. He is yet undecided on his plans this fall. His best hockey memory is the overnight trip over Christmas break his freshman year. And his message to the younger players is to make the most out of the time that you have. Our next senior defenseman, Luke Craig from Wahpeton High School. Luke's parents are Steve and Destiny Craig. His plans this fall are to pursue a sports management degree. His best hockey memory is last year when the team hosted its first home quarterfinal playoff game and earned a win, a moment he will never forget. His message to the younger players is to play for the name on the front of your jersey, not the one on the back. Our next senior, Kai McDonald, Breckenridge High School. Parents are John and Tracy McDonald, and Kai is undecided as to his plans yet this fall. His best hockey memory is the home section quarterfinal win last year against Prairie Center. His message to the younger players: work as hard as you can in every practice and every shift. Number 11, Kaysen Pincinel, Wahpeton High School. Parents are Ashley Ehlers and Jeremy Peschel. His plans this fall are to attend and play baseball at the North Dakota State College of Science. His best hockey memory is competing at the state tournament as a Peewee and finishing 5th in Williston. His message to the younger players is always make sure you are trying to have fun. Number 15, Brennan Ritter from Wahpeton High School. Brennan's parents are Phil Ritter and Megan Solom. His plans this fall are to attend Bismarck State College and become a lineman. His best hockey memory is competing at the state tournament in Williston and traveling to Duluth for a tournament when he was a second-year Peewee. His message to the younger players is don't get too bent out of shape over the game. Just enjoy it. Make memories along the way. Number 16, defenseman Wyatt Stav, Wahpeton High School. Wyatt's parents are Trevor and Ann Stav. His plans this fall include attending the University of North Dakota to study aviation. His best hockey memory is when he forgot his skates for the last game of his freshman year. His message to the younger players: appreciate the friends you make and be a good teammate. Number 18, Xander Klinner, Breckenridge High School. Xander's parents are Brooks and Jody Klinner. His plans this fall are to attend the University of North Dakota and study aviation. His best hockey memory is the overnight trip to the Twin Cities over Christmas break his freshman year. His message to the younger players: work hard when no one's watching. That's what makes a difference. Number 19, Isaiah Brushert, Wahpeton High School. Parents are Joe and Kiffany Brushert. His plans this fall are to attend Bismarck State College and become a lineman. His best hockey memory is playing mini sticks at hockey tournaments and the camaraderie and joy that comes with playing the sport. His message to the younger players: don't look too far ahead. Take it one shift at a time. Our final senior skater, Charlie Malmberg, Wahpeton High School. Charlie's parents are Roger and Amy Malmberg. His plans this fall: work. His best hockey memory, when he laid out Jordan Jensen in the middle of practice. His message to the younger players: don't let anything get in the way of you trying your best. And we'd also like to recognize our senior team manager, Reagan Gurney from Wahpeton High School. Reagan's parents are Ben and Anna Gurney. Her plans this fall are to attend the North Dakota State University to study accounting and horticulture. Her best hockey memory as a manager is the home section game last year. Her message to the younger players: no matter how tired you are, the extra 15 minutes of practice will make you better. Thank you, seniors. One final comment from Coach Wertsema. He would like to thank all the seniors and their parents for the contributions to our Blades hockey program. He wishes them all the best in everything they do after high school. Thank you. All right. Anything?
Okay, there we have it. We have senior night here. You're able to hear all their favorite past memories. Man, I remember a lot of them. Not so much the ones where they went down on freshman year at the hotel stay for a high school tournament, but the ones that were recalling their youth hockey experiences, very much part of that. And it's hard to believe that they're seniors now. So there you have it, the class of 2026 Blades seniors out there just being introduced and welcomed. And we're able to thank and appreciate their parents today, because it is a big commitment. Even though the parents do have probably as much fun as the kids do at away tournaments and away games, it is still a big commitment of time. And so it's always good to see parents rally around their kids, and it's good to see the kids appreciate their parents. So we'll break here momentarily. The Zam's going to be coming out here. Looks like they're keying up for 13 minutes here, and we'll get back on the headset probably in about 10 minutes here with my co-host, John McDonald.
All right, welcome back. About 6 minutes here before teams take the ice. And puck dropped shortly to follow. As we are just a few minutes here before the Blades and Wadena will square off for the second time. Blades getting the better of Wadena in the first matchup in early January, taking home a 5-3 win. A bit of a roller coaster since that time as they went on, is it a 7-game winning streak?
Yeah, I was close to that. They were 1-7, and then all of a sudden they're 1-7-1, and all of a sudden they were 9-9.
Yeah. So they went on a bit of a heater there in January, and have cooled off a little bit in the last two. And it's kind of do or die as we're getting toward the end of the year. And the Blades, I believe, probably are not going to get home ice advantage at this point in the calendar unless something miraculous happens. Right now, they probably have Prairie Center sitting ahead of them as Prairie Center took the season sweep on them. They gave away a game to Wilmer early in the year, and that is proving very costly as things come down to the wire here. And they're only playing one time. It would be nice to see 2 games with Wilmer, especially one later in the season here, as we maybe had a chance at trying to get one back there. They did get a big win against Little Falls. I think that's going to help them out. And they have 1 game left with Little Falls, 1 game left with Fergus. Who else do we got on this calendar?
We got Becker Big Lake coming up on Saturday, and River Lakes close out the season.
So those 2 are non-conference, but I do think wins in those games, especially the River Lakes game, could really help boost them up the standings when it comes down to the end of the year and the coaches deciding. I think the best they could probably improve to is maybe a 5 seed. Lowest they could go is a 7 seed.
Yeah.
And what does that mean when you look at what the 5 seed, the 7 seed, and where you want to be? They're going to be on the road regardless.
Right.
But it kind of determines who your opponent is. The top seed's likely going to be
Sartell.
The Sartell Sabres.
Yep.
As they are currently rated 3 in the state right now.
Yeah.
And then I believe the 2 seed's probably going to be Northern Lakes, who's had a pretty good season.
Yeah, I don't think you can argue definitely can't argue against anybody else but Sartell at 1, and I think 2 is pretty much a lock for Northern Lakes. They're playing a pretty tough schedule and having pretty decent outcomes. They do take a step back from time to time, as we've seen, throughout the year. But again, there's not very many guys playing a schedule that like they have all season. So Northern Lakes has to be a lock at 2, and then after that, you're looking at most likely Fergus, but it could be, Prairie Center could be up
Prairie
there.
Center could be as high as 3, that's for sure. It's really hard to predict the rest of the teams. I'd say
Yes.
3 through 5, 3 through 6 gets kind of difficult. Wilmer's made a case that they shouldn't be in the 7th spot. The last 2 teams are going to be Wadena and Morris.
Yep.
And they'll be in a play-in game situation.
Yep.
And then the winner of that game will go on to play Sartell.
Yep.
So the 7th seed is going to go on the road and play likely Northern Lakes.
Yep.
And I would assume the Blades want to stay away from the 7th seed, as Northern Lakes is a pretty strong program.
Yeah, I don't think they want to be able to touch that, and it'll be interesting because, like you talked about, especially if the Blades can pick up the victory against Little Falls coming up here, as I believe the only time that Little Falls and Prairie Center did square up, Little Falls did beat them 3-1. But there's like this whole those middle groups, they're kind of beat each other up, right? They've won and lost against each other. So how those seedings come in, because head-to-head isn't exactly a perfect ratio either, because a head-to-head to somebody else, there was a loss as well too. So
yeah, it gets messy as Northern Lakes has beat Prairie Center. Prairie Center swept the Blades. The Blades beat Northern Lakes. It's probably going to be a bit of a headache, and I'm glad I'm not on that phone call. As every coach is making their case and lobbying as much as they can to get as high as they can. And like I said, I don't think the Blades are going to get home ice this year, unfortunately. But they will be trying not to play the 2 seed, and probably would like to play the 4 seed, so to get the 4-5 matchup. But we'll have to see. We're going to turn things over to public address announcer Scott, and we'll turn it over to him here.
High school sports is learning lifetime values. Sportsmanship is one of those values. So please help us make this contest a positive educational experience by demonstrating respect and proper conduct. Feel free to support your team, but please refrain from using obscene language or inappropriate behavior. Thank you in advance for supporting our student athletes. Now, let's meet the players. First, for the visitors, the Wadena Deer Creek Wolverines. Goaltender is a freshman, number 27, Grayson Meyer. On defense, a sophomore, number 9, Grady Schmidt. On defense, a sophomore, number 20, Owen Weir. At the left wing, a freshman, number 11, Cole Sunby. On the right wing, a junior, number 4, Addison Fink. At center, a sophomore, number 12, Hudson Hathaway. The head coach for the Wolverines is Robbie Grendal. Assistant coach is Corey Sarago. Next, we'll introduce our young skaters for this evening. On the ice right now, we represent our Team Green for the Mite Skaters. Team Green is sponsored by Beta Seed. These young skaters are the future of our program and represent the next generation of our hockey community. Let's show them our support and appreciation as they take this special moment on the varsity stage. First, number 2, Knox Gornu. Number 3, JJ McGarry. Number 4, Bowen Eaton. Number 5, Sawyer Nordic. Number 8, Grayson Schaefer. Number 10, Beck Hollubach. Number 12, Mason Acevedo. And also skating out tonight representing Team Orange, number 10, Briggs Eaton. All right. And now, for your home team, the BW Blades. Our netminder is a junior, number 33, Cale Gilbertson. On defense tonight, we've got a senior pair, number 23, Charlie Momberg. And number 16, Wyatt Staff. Our senior front tonight is anchored by the center, number 11, Kaysen Pinsino. On the right wing, we've got number 15, Brennan Ritter. And on the left wing, number 18, Xander Klinert. The Blades assistant coaches are James Bass and Bob Lane. Goalie coach is Lucas Levescu. Our head coach is Adam Wurtzema. Have we seen Adeline? There she is. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand if you are able and face the flag at the north end of the arena. Please help us honor our country and those who protect it by removing any headgear and placing your hand over your heart for the singing of our national anthem. Tonight, the anthem will be sung by Wahpeton sophomore Adeline Pickin. We have at linesman Josh Can. Our referees for tonight are Jamison Allen and Isaac Olson. These gentlemen are registered officials with the Minnesota High School League and have been chosen for their expertise. Please respect the decisions of our contest officials.
All right, thanks to Scott Nicholson there. The best in the biz.
Yeah, just a professional up there.
True professional.
Walks in.
Donates his time.
Donates his time, hammers out the details. And a heavy lift here for senior night. And goes seamlessly.
The barn's rocking tonight. There's a huge crowd here. A lot of students, a lot of parents, and the barn's buzzing here. So hopefully the boys are ready to go. A few new names in the lineup card tonight.
Yeah, like giving an all senior start here where, a lot of these guys, I don't know if they've ever had their name announced for a starting lineup. So good for them. Get that opportunity. Brendan Ritter may have at some point in time, but the rest of them get a nod here.
Number 23, Chucky Mack in the lineup tonight. That's always a good thing for the Blades. Nice to see him get some minutes here up front. Blades are going to control. Comes right to Ritter. He's over the line. He cuts in on the backhand. Puts one towards the net right in the slot. Clinner was there. It's steered away by the Wolverines, and they're coming back up ice. Over the line. Slashes through as Staver comes across. Malmberg in the corner. Turns the play over. Pincinel to Ritter. Ritter back to Clinard at the red. Has some trouble with it. Finds it. He's going to give it a hard rim all the way around. Be controlled by the Wolverines. They let it slide through. And Peterson off the bench. Mike Peterson fires one on. Now Chucky Malmberg puts one towards the net. And a nice save by Meyer to steer that one into the corner. Puck is scrummed on the end wall. And now it comes to Peterson. Akron steps down, holds the zone. Wolverines control, and they skate away. Errant pass. Blades can't play it as they're in the midst of a change. Would have had too many men on the ice, so puck comes all the way into their end, where it'll be controlled by Isaiah Brushert. Now, Matt Peterson behind his own net. Centering attempt comes to Brushert. He gets the clear as he was tangled up with one of the Wadena players, and the Blades control in their own end. They regroup to center ice. 2-on-1 now as Brushert just escapes his stick at the last minute as he and McDonald were in on a 2-on-1. Puck played back to neutral. Charlie Ekren over the line, snaps one on. That's deflected by number 7, Austin Luke, and that goes out of play, and we'll get our first whistle. Keys to the game, Coach?
Yeah, you got me sleeping there. 3 keys of the game here. We got to win the special teams. I think the downfall of the last couple games was just that. Not scoring on the power play and obviously allowing power play goals. The seniors need to lead. It's senior night, so these guys need to come and pull the team forward. I think the seniors have played pretty good the last couple of games, and they need to lead to win and need to minimize turnovers. It was a turnover fest the last 2 games, and they need to possess that puck and hold on to it and not give it to the other team.
Matthew Peterson sneaks down the wall, puts one right in the crease. Dangerous play, but it will be steered aside by Meyer and iced by the Wolverines. I think that's a good point, as seniors should lead. I thought the Brushert, McDonald, and Michael Peterson line was excellent. Oh, yeah, excellent, but they were the best line for the team on the last game there in Crookston.
Yeah, and I would probably say the last 2 games, too. I mean, they were going in Prairie Center as well. And the seniors, when they only have one more shot at this, they play different than juniors or sophomores.
A little desperation.
Yep.
As the clock time starts to wind down a little bit, and you start to maybe feel some of that pressure as we see Brewer pick up the puck in his own end here. Escapes trouble behind his own net. Regroups it to Lopez. Lopez swings through the middle and will start the play up ice. Lopez over the red. Into the Wadena zone. Drives wide. Drop pass for Cassie. Fires right on. Meyer with a nice save. Into the corner. Cassie gets his own rebound. Hard work there by number 17. Now to Neppel. Neppel centering attempt. Misses Jackson Brewer, who had slid down into the slot. Icing's waved off, so the Blades got to hustle. Hoffman back. Gilbertson sets the puck up for him. He plays it hard off the wall to Neppel. Neppel. Centering attempt gets broken up by the Wolverines. The Blades have a little jump in their step tonight. They seem to be all over the team in white, yellow, and blue, as it was kind of the other way around the first time they met. Wadena came out with a little bit of fire and had the Blades on their heels early.
Yeah, they did, and I think the Blades just assumed to
as it was kind of the other way around
the
first time
they show up, and the Wadena was just
came
going to
out
let
with
them put the puck in the back of their own net, and they had other plans. Like, it's high school hockey in Minnesota. Go play.
Yeah. You really can't take a game off. Any team can hurt you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't respect them and you come in, you can be in trouble before you know it. As we see Jack Ekron centering Brennan Ritter and Kason Pinsenholt, which is more kind of true to form of what that third line has been for the Blades at times this year. The last stretch of games they've been playing Isaiah Brushert as a revolving center for the second and third line. And now Jack Ekron kind of assuming duties back on that third line again here.
Yeah, I like him up the middle. He didn't play bad at wing, but he's played center most of his life, and he does a pretty good job of that.
So offensive zone draw here for Wadena as they'll control. Puck played up to the blue line, shot on. Big save. Cale Gilbertson kicks that one way back out to avoid the Wadena players in the slot from having an easy rebound attempt. Played back for Luke Craig in his own end. Chips off the wall. Jack Ekron controls, gets the red line and dumps it in. Ritter will be the first man of the puck in the far side corner. He controls. Tries to go back to Stav. That's broken up by Addison Fink. She comes up the wall. I did say that right. Wadena does have a female player on their team, and she's a junior. Kudos to her. She battles hard and is a heck of a good player. Wadena controls over the Blades line. Shot attempt deflected into the corner. Craig plays that behind the net for Ekron. Ekron for Peterson. He misplays the puck. That'll be off sides, and the Blades have time to regroup. Peterson again takes the ice, hits Brushert. He tips it in the zone. And it's played back up the wall, past McDonald into the neutral zone. Ekron back for that. He swings it over to Peterson. Peterson tried to hit Brushert. He let it go from McDonald's out of his reach, and it'll go for an icing.
Yeah, just after that first shift, it looks like it's just a little bit of sloppiness and not quite tape-to-tape passing, so they're going to want to get that figured out here sooner than later. We don't want to see these turnovers turning into scoring opportunities for Wadena.
Puck played behind the Blades net. It'll be controlled and rimmed around for McDonald. He pokes it through a defender to Brushert. That's going to make its way all the way across the ice for Peterson. He fires on, goes into the corner, where McDonald gets through him and back out to neutral. Player stood up there, and Ekron skates away with it. Charlie Ekron gets it in the zone. And we got a little bit of action behind the scenes here. As Brushert was tangled up with someone, McDonald fires up high as the puck came to him in the near side corner. Another shot tipped right to McDonald in the skates. Can't quite put the rebound away. Shot on again. Now the Blades are going. McDonald centering attempt. He chips over the back of the net. Ekron regains control, reverses to McDonald. Back to Ekron. Steps out, fires. Grayson Meyer with another save. Rebound attempt. Peterson on. McDonald's got a second look at it. He digs in there a little bit.
Nice little look there by the Blades. That line coming up with the energy again. The last couple games, that's been the line to go to. They do a great job of cycling. They don't always generate shots on net, but they keep the puck down low, which is a big deal. And they have gotten looks at the net, too.
So the Casty line out for the Blades. As Meyer gets set. He looked sharp early tonight. Just adding to that save total you'd mentioned in pregame. Lopez picks up the puck behind the Wadena net, looking to make a play off the wall to Brewer. He stumbles. Could have been a disaster, but he steered the puck away from a would-be breakaway for the Wadena, and the Blades are back to regroup. Neppel to Lopez. He's over the line, and it's a 3-on-2. Lopez to Neppel, and the slot just got off his stick. Otherwise, he was wide open. And Lopez spins back down the wall. Now to Neppel. Steps through a defender looking to shoot. And Wadena will control. They turn it back. It's a 2-on-2. They go for a change. And Hoffman pokes the puck off of the Wadena forward. And controls in his own corner. Has trouble. Negates a scoring attempt with a good stick check. Now Lopez starts up ice. Has a man wide. It's Neppel. Looks him off. Gains the zone. Cuts back to the middle. Neppel drives. Shot right on. Meyer kicks that out. Puck will be regained by Lopez. He walks towards the net. Fights off a stick check. Puts it in the slot. Jack Ekron pokes it towards the net, and that's steered away by Meyer. Lopez again. Pins the puck up against the wall. Turned up to the line. Peterson fires. That's through traffic. Meyer sees it the whole way. Steers that to the edge. Blades control again. Lopez behind the net. Centering attempt for a streaking Peterson was broken up by Wadena, and he fires that back down the wall. Lopez still out there. Clinard off the bench with a head of steam. Wadena's going to skate back the other direction. It's a 1-on-3. The Blades have numbers back, and Wadena changing. And the puck will be controlled by the Blades. Poor attempt at a pass there by Ekron. Gets to the line where it's fired back by Wadena, and that goes over the net. Pincenot with the puck through neutral. Gains his own, but it was offside as Clinard was in early. Wadena regroups. Skates through neutral. And that'll be offside on the entry. And he'll be forced to back out. Blades have time. Hoffman with space. Skates up ice with a head of steam. Cuts wide. Fires on. Meyer's the save. Pulls it in. Some white jerseys there poking. But he had it the whole way.
Yeah, nice zone entry by Josh. Took the puck wide. Fired right on. But unfortunately, he was a little too quick to get guys in front of the net or around the net in order to bang home the rebound.
So the Brusher line back out against the Hathaway line for the Wolverines. And then Blades will control. Hoffman at the line. He has a checker in his face, forced to dump the puck down. McDonald comes together with Fink on the near side wall, puts the puck in the corner where it'll be hammered around and all the way down. No ice as linesman Can said Mr. Hoffman could have touched it. And puck will be in the Blades near side corner. McDonald up the wall. Hoffman with the puck in his own end. Plays it to Brusher in the middle. He chips wide to McDonald. He dumps it in. And he'll regroup behind the net with Peterson. Peterson controls, tries to get it up to the line. Craig was off the bench. And that gets through him and comes all the way down where Brewer will control. Puck's taken off of him. Centering attempt. Good back check for Isaiah Brusher to break up that scoring attempt as the puck was played to the slot by the Wolverines. McDonald back in the zone, looking for somebody. Sends it over to Craig. Craig cuts back to the inside. He's got Brewer on the wing. Skates it himself right through the middle. Wadena in the midst of a change again. He drives wide. He's going to circle the net. Chips to himself in the corner. Plays it low for Brusher, and that's out of play just over the glass.
Yeah, just watching how Wadena's playing us, they do like to keep their wings a little bit high in the zone. So I'm going to guess that cycle is going to be open down low. So they're going to have to play a 3-on-3 down low and maybe be very careful on when you pass it up to the points.
The Cassie line on. And they'll control. Puck up to the line. Craig evades Cole Sudby. Now back to Craig again. Sends it down for Casti. Neppel will control behind the net. Evades a defender. Walks out. Loose puck in the slot. Meyer made the initial save. The Wolverines control the puck. Stav just can't quite hold the line. Blades will tag up. Meyer sets the puck up for his defenseman. Hard rim around. That gets through everybody. Fink puts a check on Craig at neutral ice. And he sends the puck down into the Wolverine zone. Stav holds the line temporarily. Now it's a 3-on-1. He's back in a hurry. Shot partially deflected, gets in on Gilbertson, and he gloves that one and holds for a whistle. With 6:32 here to go in the first period, shots are currently 9-3 in favor of the Blades.
Yeah, nothing really going right now. It seems like, with the exception of maybe that McDonald and Brushert line, which seems to be generating most of the offense, they're really going. The other guys are kind of going half speed.
Oh, we got 2 whistles here as Hoffman fired a slash over. Thought we were going to get a penalty on each, but I guess Hoffman will come in and take the draw. He takes a bump and controls the puck. Good stick check there on him by Lex Tucker. Leonard takes a hit, shovels the puck on for Ekron. Ekron chips it up through neutral. Chips it to himself again. Blades got to get on side. They are now, and the puck is dumped into the corner. Rimmed around. Klinnert's going to be the first guy there. Plays it to Ritter, middle of the rink, and Wadena's going to skate away with it. Wadena with the short bench, by the time they get the puck out of their end, they usually are out of gas and have to change, and it's usually a 1-on-3 or 1-on-4 as the rest of the guys are changing. They're at a bit of a disadvantage there.
Yeah, and they got the disadvantage of not trying to match up, but with 2 lines, you really can't match up anyways. But, they're going to have to play a conservative game, probably a lot of dump and chase, and just wait for an error on the Blades' part.
So Sudby, Hathaway, and Fink on the ice as we see McDonald take the draw and go up ice. He tries to get by Weir. Weir dropped his stick. Puck comes right back to McDonald. Centering attempt broken up. Comes right back to him again. Steps out. Not able to get a clean shot off as Wadena had collapsed pretty nicely into the slot there. They'll chip it back down where it's picked up by Stav. Stav works it around to Peterson. He gets it all the way over to McDonald. He leaves for Brushert. Good stick check there by Fink. Blades will be forced to dump it in. Peterson will be the first man there. He controls, sends down for McDonald behind the net. He reverses ice for Peterson. Centering attempt for Brushert, gets through everybody. And Wadena will skate away with it. They dump behind Gilbertson, where it's played by Craig. Up to the line, but not out. Shot on, but that's blocked by Brushert. And Wadena regroups at neutral ice, sends it down low, where it'll be played by the Blades' Stav. He fires around for McDonald. He takes a big hit, was able to get the puck up for Lopez. Lopez delays, tries to center, nobody there, except a Wadena player who shoots it down, and we'll get another whistle for icing.
Yeah, you'd like to see Jackson maybe just take that thing for a little skate in the offensive zone. I mean, Wadena had numbers 3-2, but they weren't really pressuring, forcing him to make a play.
I think it's just a matter of time before the Blades start to click on some of these plays, and they're going to start exploding, kind of like we have seen them do maybe in the second Park Rapids game, where they kind of were feeling them out in the first. A couple plays were there, not quite, and there's a goal as Casti sneaks one in short side on the 10th shot of the game for the Blades.
So going forward, John, you just need to start talking about it's going to be any time now, and then boom, pop it in. Not even within. You didn't even finish the sentence, and Cassidy's putting that thing in the back of the net.
Casti, the slippery player that he is, just kind of a little shimmy shake behind the net to throw Grayson Meyer off his scent and tucks it in on the, I don't know if you call that a wraparound, kind of a stuff play. But as I was saying there, before I was rudely interrupted by Grayson Casti's goal, I think the Blades are going to start to click on some of these pass plays, and you're going to start to see some pretty nice hockey here down the stretch, as we'll get the call here from PA announcer Scott Nicholson.
Scoring for the Blades at 12:38 in the first period, number 17, Grayson Casti, assisted on the play by number 12, Jackson Lopez. That's Casti from Lopez. That's good hockey.
So Casti from Lopez late in the first period. Shot from the Wolverines is going to trickle wide of Gilbertson. It'll be played by Brewer. He fires up for Ritter. It's off his skates. I don't think it's going to go for an ice, though. Ekron beats it out. He controls behind the Wolverine net. Out to Ritter. Shot on. Meyer handles that nicely. Good look there from the third line.
Yeah, nice effort by Ritter and Ekron to get up there on the puck. And Ekron just makes a good play on his man, turns him over. And I was able to find Ritter right there in a nice little shot. Meyer playing the top of his crease. Probably not giving Ritter much to shoot at there.
Ritter on a nice back check. Puck comes to Pincinel. He's turned over by defenseman Weir. Heads up. Puck coming in as puck flipped over the glass by Ritter. Couple players of note there to watch for the Wolverines. Number 20, Owen Weir, defenseman, just a 10th grader. I thought he was pretty dynamic in the first meeting between these two. Solid player, a reliable defenseman, has some offensive upside.
Skates pretty well.
Good skater. And then you have the big body up front of Grady Swartzky, number 22. McDonald puts a hit on Weir. Puck left for Brushert. Brushert down the wall, streaking towards the net. Tries to cut in on his backhand shot, a goal. Wow. Isaiah Brushert, the power forward, making the power move to the net. Forehand, backhand, right around the far pad of Grayson Meyer. The Blades are up 2-rip.
So we saw that in Northern Lakes last year in the section quarterfinal. And I remember going to him shortly after that saying, where was that all season, even though he didn't bury, but he was a great look. Maybe we're going to see a whole new Isaiah Brushert here.
It's nice to see. With 19, he's been scoring a little bit lately.
Yes, he has.
And maybe he's getting a little bit of confidence. It's time to get that big train rolling. And he certainly was there.
At 13:48 in the first period, a senior, number 19, Isaiah Brushert with an unassisted goal. That's Brushert with the goal. That's good hockey.
Puck played in the Blade zone, be controlled by Peterson. He gets it up to Charlie Ekron. To Brushert. He misses Peterson on the far side as that play was broken up by number 12, Hudson Hathaway for the Wolverines. McDonald battling in the near side corner, gets the puck to Brushert. He walks out, spins it back down for McDonald, gets through him. He comes together on the far side with Colin Rudrud, where the puck's played back to neutral. McDonald offside as he was slow out of the zone, and we'll get a whistle with 2:13 to go in the first period. Shots 12-3 favor of the Blades with the 2-0 lead.
Yeah, just a couple of different individual efforts there going to the net to capitalize on both the Blades' goals. Maybe a little bit of a pattern here that they could follow in order to see more success.
Puck played out to neutral. Craig fires in. That'll come all the way around for Neppel on the near side. Puts it in the corner for Cassidy. He kicks to Lopez. Lopez walks out. Defended well. Spins off a check. Tries to get back to the net. Turns again. Looking to center. Now he kicks it down for Cassidy behind the net. He walks out. Just misses Neppel on a nice centering attempt. Puck makes its way back to neutral ice. Chipped in by Cassidy. And Rudrud will regroup for the Wolverines. He plays it back up to Craig. Craig across for Stav. Stav does get the red, no icing. Stav holds the clearing attempt in. Shot on. Meyer has trouble with it. It's loose still. It's still right there. Neppel shot it just wide as Meyer couldn't get a handle on it. Craig sneaks down on the far side. Lopez gets it to him. He comes in on the backhand and fires just wide. Now Neppel in the near side corner, shakes a checker. Walks back to the middle, gets on his forehand, shoots. I don't know if Meyer saw that. There's plenty of bodies in there, but it was turned away. I don't know if it got to the net or not, as we have just a minute to go in the first. Craig down the wall with the head of steam. Tries to cut to the inside. He's dropped on a big check from Owen Weir. Puck turned over high in the zone. It comes to Craig, just off his stick. He chips and heads to the bench. 34 to go here in the first. Wolverines will regroup. Puck turned over at neutral ice by Lopez. That'll be offside as Ekron was in early. Jack Ekron in his own zone. Works it across for Brewer. Brewer with a lot of room. Plays it up for Clennard off the bench. Chips it in. 8 to go in the period. Puck played high for Ritter. It escapes him. It's a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Fink would have been in all alone with no time. And that'll do it for the first. Not a bad period. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know about sloppy play, but some of the passes just weren't quite there in the first for the Blades.
Yeah, especially the first half of the period. It was very, they probably feel like there's probably more time than what they're expecting. So there's definitely a lot of time and space out here, and it's odd that we don't see guys taking it. Some of these defensemen here at the end were definitely trying to rush the puck up and do that, but that's, Isaiah Brushard's goal was he just took the time and space. Like, they are going to play back, they're going to play soft. I'm just going to skate that puck up. I think that plays there all day instead of maybe overthinking this and then seeing that there's so much time instead of having to make this quick play and now I'm off of my pass or whatever. But there definitely is plenty of time and space out there in this game, and I think the guys in white definitely want to be able to leverage that if they can.
I think you're right. I think they are not used to having some of the room they were afforded there in the first, and I think that's maybe what I was trying to say earlier is you see them adapt and you'll see them kind of maybe pause, hold, maybe connect on that pass,
sure,
hold that puck a second longer, make something happen. And as the game goes on, I think that you're going to start to see some of those plays connect, especially on the Casty line. They've been so dangerous, and there's a lot of skill on that line, and they can make you look silly in a hurry when they're snapping it around. I think that you're going to see that as this game goes on here.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they had a couple nice looks there at their last shift of that period. A couple of pucks that just trickled through the paint and didn't quite find its way in the inside of the net. But, they had some really nice looks there in that period. And we're up 2-0 here. Shots 14-3. Casty goal, assisted by Lopez, and Brushert goal unassisted, I think.
Those were the two scoring plays in the first. Not much on the Wadena side. Is just kind of a lot of get to the red and dump. Again, as they have the short bench, and you're probably going to see that continue as the game goes on. As they're probably going to get tired as they're just rolling two lines right now. To the Blades is 3, and spending a lot of time in their own end defending, and that's always hard on you. As we well know. But good effort from Wadena. They came out strong. Maybe weathered the storm early and then started to push back just a little bit. A couple looks to the net at times, but nothing too dangerous. I think Gilbertson had to make a few saves there. Well, 3, I guess, to be exact. But nothing that was super threatening.
No, nothing where there was a complete letdown defensively and running around in your D zone. I think the couple of situations that did take place, the defense was able to rally and shut it down pretty quickly and move the puck on and out of trouble's way. And so that's a good sign, too, because at times we'll try to do too much in those situations, and instead of just clearing pucks and try to make that extra play or that Q play or that probably unnecessary skill play, that it's just a simple clear and just get out of harm's way.
Well, so far so good on senior night here at Stern Arena. We hope to continue the party in the next 2 periods. And anything else to add?
No.
All right.
I'm good. Let's break here for a bit here. Should we shout out our sponsors here?
You bet. As always, our generous sponsors, their financial contributions go a long ways as outfitting kids with equipment, jerseys, and as well as feeding them on the road and warm-up gear, all the good stuff, all the things that you need to have a hockey program be successful. Again, thank you to our sponsors and for their partnership with the Blades program this year. All right, that'll do it for the first period. We'll be back in about 10 or so. Stay tuned.
Okay, hey, welcome back here. We're got a special guest here today, Ben Liss,
yes, sir.
For with Youth Hockey Hub. Ben, welcome here tonight.
It's awesome to be here.
I'm glad you're here at Stearns Arena in Wahpeton, North Dakota. Is this your first time to Wahpeton, North Dakota?
This is my first time in Breckenridge or in Wahpeton. I think one of my favorite parts of my job is traveling to lesser-known hockey communities in Minnesota, and clearly this is a good community, good fan base, and it's been a blast so far.
I'm glad you're here. How about for our listeners, how about you explain what Youth Hockey Hub is and what you're doing here tonight?
I think Youth Hockey Hub is a storytelling platform for Minnesota hockey. You know, we host tournaments from squirts all the way up to high school. We follow kids, not just the good kids, not the best kids, but, you know, good hockey players at every level. We give them a place to play hockey, to see their content, and, you know, just watch players grow through a 10-year span has been really fun. You know, my boss remembers covering Brock Faber, and now Brock Faber's playing in the Olympics.
Sure, yeah. Oh, that's a cool little story.
And we
Maple Grove, right?
yes, sir. OMG.
So one of the things that Youth Hockey Hub has done big recently is their podcasts, their tournaments. So if you follow them on Twitter, you see Tony and the guys.
Yep.
They're doing their thing, so that's awesome. And I see that they're coming in further west. I see a lot of more tournaments at the Moorhead Center, and it's good that, you know, we see that presence on the west side of Minnesota as well. So it's funny because last year, right before the playoffs, they were doing the seeding, and Tony and the guys were like, "Who is Breckenridge Waterford?"
I remember watching that.
Yeah. So, you know, it's kind of cool to at least get on their radar, the name. So that's awesome. So are you from this side of the state?
No, sir. I'm born and raised in Minneapolis. I went to Richfield High School in Richfield, Minnesota, which is right between Edina and Bloomington. Darby Hendrickson, if you know who that is. He was Mr. Hockey 91. He went to Richfield. Steve Kristoff was on the Miracle team. He went to Richfield. So we unfortunately are not as big of a hockey community anymore, but we have a beautiful rink and a great hockey history.
Yeah, you got a story there, so that's awesome. Yeah, well, that's cool. So what brought you out this way?
So there is the North-South Challenge being played in Grand Forks starting tomorrow, and that's a Bantam AA, Pee Wee AA tournament with Moorhead, Warroad, East Grand Forks, Minnetonka, Edina, Woodbury, and Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids on the Bantam side. And I told Tony, I was like, I think we should do Breck Wop the night before. And he said, absolutely. He loved it.
Oh, that's cool.
We love showing love to the whole hockey community. So,
and for you get to go to all these rinks and actually say, okay, what's good about it? It's like it feels like home for us here all the time, but it's always cool when people come in and see it. You know. You know, we have some friends, Prairie Center, that we just don't like to go to their rink. It's really, really cold.
We're trying to put together a GoFundMe to start like heating that place too. It's just seeing your breath in the crowd.
The coldest rink I've ever been to is Moose Lake. So 40 minutes south of Duluth, and it was 4 degrees in the rink. It was freezing. It was a game between Bagley and Moose Lake, and it was a blast, but it was really cold.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We wanted to bring you on because we want to say thank you for coming out and coming to the rink, and we look forward to watching you guys, Tony and his crew on the podcast. And good luck to this weekend over at Bantam AA.
Yes, sir.
That
Bantam
should be a good one.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. And good luck the rest of the season.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, welcome back to Stern Arena. Second period action just about to get underway as both teams are on the ice. Blades currently with the 2-0 lead over the Wadena Wolverines in a Section 6A matchup. This game is important for the Blades as this would all but ensure they would be the 7th seed had they lost this one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. They would be a 7 seed in that from that respect. So, they have 34 minutes to finish up here. They're in a good spot, but they gotta make sure that they finish.
So Hathaway, Sunby, and Fink on the ice against the Brushert line of McDonald, Brushert, and Michael Peterson. Charlie Ekron chips the puck deep, delivers a hit on Owen Weir behind the net, and puck will be controlled by the Wolverines. Up the wall with space for Sudby. Gets through into the corner. Centering attempt broken up by Ekron. He leaves for Peterson. Peterson over for McDonald. Over the line. Centering attempt gets through Brushert and into the corner. Controlled by Peterson. He wanted to one-tee it off the wall. Sudby broke that up and Fink back up the ice. She takes a bump. Plays offside. Still offside. Blades will control. Akron regroups. Leaves her Brushert in the middle. Chips to the wall. And gets through Weir into the corner. Him and Weir come together. Centering attempt broken up by the Wolverines' Hathaway. Puck played up. On a chance, it's broken up nicely by Matthew Peterson. He takes a hit behind the net from Swirsky. And shot attempt from Weir is deflected and over the net. Played into the corner now. Peterson back up the wall. Casti, Lopez are there. A few bodies come together. And the puck will finally be played by the Blades. Peterson behind his own net. Up to Lopez, who gets it to Casti. Casti up to Neppel. That play is turned away by the Wolverines. Controlled back by the Blades, though. Casti steps through a man, loads one up, fires. That hits Meyer in the glove. Just about snuck through him. As the Blades, Hoffman sneaks down the wall. Picks up a clearing attempt. Controls behind the net. Gets it to Neppel. Neppel walks out and fires. Scores. Did that not hit the back bar?
No, I think that hit his face mask.
Okay. I heard like a thud, like it hit that padded bar in the back and came out quick, but that must have been the mask that I heard.
Yeah, it might have been the mask, or it might have actually got him high in the chest protector too. But it definitely went up high on the goaltender.
Well, there was no reaction, so apparently it didn't go in the net. As the Wolverines control in their own end. Puck played back to the slot. Chipped high off the glass. Held in nicely by Hoffman. He's going to step down and into the corner. Looks to center. Fires high. That'll come all the way out to center ice for Brewer. He waits for his mates to get onside. Chips it down into the corner. And apparently they weren't, as they'll have to tag up. And Akron's still offside as Ritter brought the puck in a little early.
Yeah, we're seeing our defense getting a little nosy up there a little bit at times and trying to jump into the rush. I hope that doesn't end up biting us in the butt here.
Face-off controlled by Brewer. Walks in, fires, blockered away by the Wolverines' Meyer. Puck played to center ice. Hoffman fires on. Brushert right in front looking for the rebound. And that's cleared away by the Wolverines. McDonald holding the point. Now Hoffman back for the Blades. Gets the puck to Brewer. Loose puck picked up by McDonald. He fires wide. That'll come all the way out to center ice. Controlled by the Wolverines. Brewer falls but still is able to make a play on the puck, and it'll be shipped over the glass and out of play by the Blades' Peterson.
Yeah, so we saw it, a couple of forwards covering for defense that last shift. And that's one of the things that I thought was kind of tough when we played Wadena was we saw a lot of that where we had forwards covering defensemen. I hope we don't get into that spot where we're running around in our own end.
Shot on
offensive end
by Lex Tucker of the Wolverines. Easily handled by Gilbertson. His fourth save of the game. Puck rimmed around for Neppel. He pulls it off the wall. Tries to go to Lopez, but Tucker was in the way of that. And the Blades will be forced to regroup. Now back to Neppel again. This time he gets it over to Lopez. Cuts outside. Looking to make a play. Circles the net. Has Craig diving. Pulls up and fires. Meyer had it tucked under. Casti was able to kick it free, but not before the whistle had blown.
Yeah, it was probably a dead puck. You get the interference, and it was a tough play with Casti there and able to jar it loose. But that's what you want your forwards to be doing. Going to that blue paint.
Face-off controlled by Weir. of the Wolverines. Dumps the puck in and runs over Stav on his way into the zone. Lopez now with control. He's got a man hard back on him. Fights off the check and gains the zone with a chip into the corner. Puck played around. It's going to come right to Lopez. He leaves for Stav at the point. He fires on with Cassidy right in front, and a nice shot turned away by Meyer at the last second. Neppel cuts to the slot. Well defended. And Fink will skate away for the Wolverines. She kicks the puck out for Sudby. Back to Fink. Weir on the back door. Loose puck for a minute. So Wolverines were crashing the net. Fired on. Glove down by Cassidy. So a nice play by the Wolverines going hard to the net. Sudby turns it on. Tricky shot as it kind of hit his own man on his way through the net. That hit Hathaway. Deflected in on Gilbertson, and he had to be sharp. So Lopez buried Sudby after he had taken that shot into the wall.
Yeah, Wisely just covers up that puck. There was nothing happening there after the Blades give up a 3-on-2 and just couldn't get the puck out.
It's a little bit of life shown by the Wolverines here about halfway through the second period. So the puck is played around to Clinert. Pincinel clears the zone. Ekron takes a hit from Tucker, and Clinert goes in the zone. He's rubbed off the puck. Ekron wins the battle. Centers, steered away by Meyer. Puck scrummed around. Now comes out to neutral where it'll be controlled by Ekron. He comes back for Pincinel. Plays onside. He pulls up. Hits Clinert on the back door. Fired right on. Meyer saw that the whole way. Came well out on top of his crease to make the save.
Yeah, nice patience there by Pincinel as he gained the zone and just kind of waited for Xander to find that clearing right there, that little soft ice on a trail play. And Xander put a nice shot on net.
A smart play by number 11 and a good release there by Clinert. Puck will be controlled by the Blades if they hurry. Now Fink beats Clinert to the puck. She's up ice. Sudby now steps inside. Good stick check by Peterson. And the puck will be steered out to neutral ice. Clinert gloves down a puck and dumps it in. Ekron's knocked down on his way to the puck by Hathaway. Puck played down the ice, gets through Pincinel, but he touched it, so there'll be no icing. Puck played around by Gilbertson. Quick up, Pincinel from Peterson. Walks in, loads one up. Good hard back check there by Sudby. As Pincinel thought he had a little bit more time than he did. Centering attempt from Peterson to Ekron. Just missed. Meyer was sharp again. He's made several nice saves so far in this game. Peterson off the wall. Walks out, fires. Blockered away by Meyer. Puck played into the corner. Controlled by Rudrud. And will be cleared out by Hathaway. And the Wolverines will go for a change. Peterson behind his own net with several Blades players up ice. Now he works it up to his brother Michael. Michael flips in the zone. That's gloved down with Brushert in the defender's face. Puck played into the corner. Certain attempt for Brushert broken up by Weir. And away comes Lex Tucker of the Wolverines. Play is just onside. McDonald bodies Tucker after he dumps it in the zone. Peterson now gains control, cuts back to the middle of the ice. He's going to take it himself as he kind of saunters up through neutral ice, gets the red, flips to McDonald. Weir breaks that up. McDonald controls, leaves down low for Brushert. He'll do battle with Sunby, and that puck will be controlled by the Blades. Puck fired on. Meyer dropped it for a minute, but is able to squeeze it, keep it underneath him, and keep it out of his net with McDonald and Brushert standing in the crease looking for a rebound.
Yeah, he must have felt it come through the wickets there, and he just fell backwards on it, hoping that it wasn't sitting in the blue paint with two guys from the opposing roster staring right at it.
So good shift after good shift by the Blades here in the second period. Not able to score yet, but putting some offense together and mostly playing in the Wadena zone. Weir now chips it up to Sunby before he's turned over. Now comes back to Weir at neutral ice. He chips it on. Fink can't touch it. The play's offside. Brewer plays it across for Hoffman. He takes a hit from Hathaway. And the Blades are turned back into their own end. Rimmed around for Lopez. He controls off the wall, steps through the Swarsky check. Gets the red. Casti puts one in on Meyer, looking for the rebound as Lopez was streaking to the net, but he turned that away. And now Neppel out of the corner. Puck is poked off of his stick. Played to the line by Casti. Brewer makes a nice move on Swarsky, steps down and fires. And Meyer gobbles that one up for a whistle at 8:31 to go in the second period.
Nice little play there by Brewer on the point just to make that guy miss and get the puck on net. Didn't quite get the tip on the play in front of the goalie. I don't think you're going to beat this guy clean. You're going to have to try to deflect that puck, especially when you can see it all the way.
So Martinson lines up against Ekron. Blades will control. Ekron leaves the puck for Klinik going to the net. No icing. Peterson will be back for the Blades with Tucker all over him. Swarsky tries to deliver a big hit. Blades are able to get the puck back up ice. Ekron steps through a man. Centering attempt off the skate of number 5, Colin Rudrud. And the puck will be steered back out to neutral ice. Now controlled by Grady Schmid. Up through neutral and dumped in by Tucker, where it'll be controlled temporarily by Charlie Ekron, who tried to hit Casti, who was in the midst of a Wadena line change, but he was able to advance the puck into their zone, where it'll be controlled by Ritter now. Ritter dumps down for Ekron. Ekron back up the wall, back to Ritter on the one-time attempt. Wasn't able to get it off clean as he was guarded by Sunby in the slot. The puck just squirts over to the corner. Now the
ref wanted to raise his hand on that one.
I thought he had it halfway up there, didn't he? As Ritter was tripped. Deflected puck into the crowd there. Yeah, he had it about shoulder height before he put it back down there, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he was trying to take a look around the net. Maybe he didn't have a clean look at it, and hands started going up, and then he thought otherwise and brought that thing back down.
So Brusher, McDonald, and Michael Peterson on the ice with Stav and Luke Craig on the blue line. Peterson brings the puck to the front of the net, gets a backhand attempt in on Meyer with the man draped all over him. Luke Craig now back for McDonald. He tries to walk out, looking, turning, spins it back down for Peterson. Backhand for Brusher, streaking through the slot, loses his man. Puts one in. Meyer equal to the task. Peterson now evades Weir. Back up to the line for Stav. He walks in, tips. McDonald on the rebound. Can't get a shot off as he was tied up by number 7, Austin Luke. And Wadena doing some nice defending in their end. Bending but not breaking. McDonald up ice. Right on the tape. He's just in early. As he was looking for the home run pass that he got from Michael Peterson, but had to reach just a touch too far with that leg.
Yeah, that's a tough play right there. It was a tish out of his reach there, so he had to go over in order to catch that thing clean. Otherwise, you're just deflecting it in the own end. But yeah, that line again producing some nice looks there. Nice centering pass to Brushert, and which led to a couple of 3-4 golden opportunities for the Blades up tight in the goaltender's paint there. Meyer's blue paint there.
Lopez with the puck. Works it back down low for Casti. Works it back high now for Hoffman. Hoffman bobbles the puck at the line and forced back to neutral by Tucker. Kicks it across for his partner. Brewer now back to Hoffman. The Blades will regroup. Gets it to Neppel. He cuts back. Has trouble with the puck and is turned away at the line. Turnover there. Managed by the Blades as Braden Martinson was thinking about creating a scoring opportunity for Wadena. Now Hoffman back over the line, loads one up and fires. Meyer has a little bit of trouble with that. And Hoffman's able to put the rebound in on him, but he gloves that one down.
Yeah, nobody really going there. So Meyer, all he has to do is just put his shoulder up against the pipe there, and Hoffman shot it right into his glove and kills the play.
Face-off control by the Blades. Low shot put in by Matthew Peterson as he was looking to create some havoc just to get the puck to the net or create a tip chance. Ekron in the corner to his brother. Charlie fires on, steered away by Meyer. Now Pincinel with the puck. Rims it around for Peterson, who sends it back down. That'll get through both Pincinel and Ekron before it's shot around to the near side wall. Puck played for Fink, but it's out of her reach. And we're kind of playing ping pong from one side to the other at this point. Now it's played low for Pincinel. He plays it up for Ekron. Fans on the pass. Walks out, fires, gets his own rebound, shoots again. 2 big saves by Meyer, and a third from the rebound off of Ritter. Give and go play, doesn't quite connect. Attempt to ice just to clear the puck at least. Doesn't go as it's held in nicely by Ekron. He steps down, holds. Now Hathaway with the puck, works it up to Suddenby. He cuts wide. Peterson bodies him hard into the wall, picks up the loose puck, and away come the Blades. Peterson flying up the ice, right over the line, cuts to the inside, streaks across, looks, turns back for Pincinel. The fans on the one-time attempt, and a nice play from number 8, Matthew Peterson, from one end of the ice to the other. Chips the puck to his brother. He puts it down in the corner. McDonald comes in, buries his man into the wall. Puck played by Brushert, evades a check by Swirsky. Centering attempt, nobody there as McDonald had gone low. And Tucker for the Wolverines starts to play back up ice. Shot in for Charlie Ekron. He plays it to Craig. Puck controlled by Fink in the Blade zone. Reversed shot attempt blocked by Brushert. And now Charlie Ekron with the puck. Plays across the zone to Peterson. He comes back to Brushert. That play is nicely broken up by Weir, who charges ahead, but that's cleared back out. And before it'll be dumped in by the Wolverines and played by the Blades. Turnover there by Peterson to Wadena's Hathaway, who walks down and fires, and Gilbertson gloves that one down for his 8th save of the game.
Yeah, just a couple ill-advised passes there where they have more time than what they're thinking, and they're trying to shove a backhand or just a tip pass, trying to get the puck out of their own end where they could just curl up the wall and send a forehand pass nicely onto the wing.
Shot on right off the face-off by the Wolverines. That's steered away by Gilbertson. And now Lopez hits a streaking Easton Neppel. He's going to race to the net. He's going to beat the man. Cuts to the inside. Forehand, backhand over the shoulder of Meyer. As again, we see the Blades using their speed to beat a Wadena defender to the net.
Yeah, I think that's a recipe. Talking to our engineer, Tony Lopez, at the break. That time and space is there, and it's not being utilized well enough. I think that play all day could be happening for the Blades. Much as we like to see that cross-ice pass, sometimes that just lateral speed is more efficient or effective.
Wadena controls off the face-off. Weir cuts in, nicely defended by Brewer. He chips up for Casti, controls, cuts back to the middle, leaves for Lopez. Lopez to Neppel, shot right on, blockered away by Meyer.
For the Blades at 14:25 in the second period, number 28, Easton Neppel, assisted on the play by number 2, Josh Hoffman, and number 12, Jackson Lopez. That's Neppel from Jackson and from Lopez and Hoffman. That's good hockey.
So Lopez, after assisting on the goal, is going to go to the box on a 2-minute interference call as he finished his man just a touch late, and that was the Wolverines' Hathaway going hard into the wall. Shaken up a bit, but he's still on the ice as the Blades will go on the penalty kill for the first time tonight. The usual suspects of Brushert and McDonald on the kill. Shot on, I went off Charlie Ekman's shin pad and just went wide of the Blades net. Donald and Weir doing battle. Now McDonald wins the puck and gets it down the ice. Puck brought in by the Wolverines' Grady Schmid. Trouble in the corner. Turned over by Sunby. Heel control. Back up the ice for Tucker. Tucker at the point. Kicks it back down for Sunby. Ekman steps in and breaks that play up. Weir on a hold at the line with his boot, but it does eventually come out where Tucker will regroup for the Wolverines. Clearing attempt held. Shot in. Gilbertson controls that. Now it's played by Peterson. Steps through a check. Has some time. Takes his time again through the neutral zone. And then eventually flips it in on Meyer.
Oh, wow.
A little bad for Meyer there as that puck took a tough hop as he had flipped it in from about the red line. Meyer kind of lost it for a minute in the ceiling. And I think it kind of bounced, took a funny bounce, and he was sliding to his left, and it went right, and it's in the net.
I feel bad for goalies as a coach. You hate those plays because almost just you have to skate. Yeah, that goalie has to skate out there and play it in the air. You can't let it bounce for that reason. That's a tough play there by the goalie. Smart play, smart dump in by Matt. I mean, it's like laying up a pitching wedge, right?
And really, the whole play was smart as he took his time up the ice as nobody was pressuring him.
16-11 in the second period. Number 8, Matt Peterson with an unassisted goal. That's Peterson for the goal. That's good hockey.
Holy smokes. Some lady just about took one off the dome here, about right in front of us, as the Hoffman clearing attempt just over the glass. We had some alert viewers that got a hand on that one at the last minute. Otherwise, we're getting stitches.
You got to be lively here tonight at Stearns Arena.
There's been a few pucks over the glass.
Yep.
So the shorthanded goal by Peterson on the dump attempt, something you don't see very often. Shot just wide by Hathaway of the Wolverines. So Wolverines have had a couple of looks this period. They got up to 10 shots now. A couple of plays could have potentially been dangerous, but either Gilbertson was there or they went wide as Schmid shoots that one directly over the glass. With 5 to play here in the second period. Blades up to a 4-0 lead now. Shots currently 33-10.
So some of the difference that I've seen tonight as compared to probably Crookston and Prairie Center as we wind out this period and start thinking about the next period. The back checking is way better today. The forwards are coming back. The D guys are gapping up enough. They're slowing the play down to our blue line, and the forwards are finishing it. So that's one thing I think we missed against Prairie Center, and we definitely missed it against Crookston. Crookston was, you didn't see your forwards coming back hard enough. The majority of them anyways.
Well, you didn't see much in Crookston.
No, it was most of the guys were shells of themselves. There was a couple guys moving, but much better effort coming back. I think even when we were in Wadena, that was part of the problem, is that we didn't come back hard enough. We just assumed that our defensemen were going to shut down the play, and that they would just turn it right back up to our forwards, and we could just hang back and get odd man rush after odd man rush, and that's not how it works.
No, Wadena dangerous, and I just think back to how good Wadena looked back in early January when we played them there. And again, I don't know if that was something that they were doing differently or something the Blades weren't doing.
Sure.
But the Blades certainly came with the right mindset tonight and are playing hard regardless of the opponent. And again, Wadena looks, there's a lot of difference in the game between between then and now, the Blades kind of totally dominating. Not much Wadena can do. They can get a look at times if the Blades get a little bit sloppy defensively, but most of the time when they've had a loose puck or they've had an opportunity, the Blades have been back so hard that it really hasn't materialized into much.
Yeah, it's a 4-on-2 coming back, right? So they might get a 2-on-2 right away coming out of their own end, but then the forwards are coming back and they're catching them, they're hunting them down, and then they have numbers. So whether the defenseman is making the play or the forward comes back and ties up the guy trying to enter the zone, it's been a good defensive effort from that aspect.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know if there's too much that the Blades will be able to take away from this game. But as long as they're playing the right way and they had the right mindset, I think that's about what you can expect or I guess I don't think you can extrapolate about their next performance and how they look tonight.
Right. Yep.
Because Wadena is a little bit on the weaker side as opponents go.
Well, and especially if you look at Becker Big Lake's typically pretty good hockey team. I haven't seen how they've done down the stretch here, but going into next week, Fergus Falls is not going to lay over. Little Falls is going to want revenge, and River Lakes, they beat us 4-1 earlier this year. Kind of bullied us at times during that game, and so you got your next games coming up. 3 out of the 4 we've lost to already this year, and 1 we only beat by 1 goal.
Yeah, it's some of the toughest stretch of the season really over the next 4 games here.
Yep.
And I guess if you go back even over the last probably 2.5, 3 weeks of the season, some of the toughest games the Blades will have played. If you maybe take this one out of the mix, and maybe one of the Park Rapids games out of the mix.
Yep.
But yeah, certainly the Blades will have to be playing their best hockey, and I guess that's how it should be anyway as you're going into the section tournament, where everybody's going to be hungry and it's a one-and-done scenario. So anything can happen, and they have to really be ready to go when puck drops in section tournament play.
Yeah, Fergus learned that last year as Wilmer walks in their barn, I think as a 7 seed, and takes them down as a 3 seed. Surprisingly, 8-5. That's just you can't overlook anybody at any given night. I think maybe Sartell's the only one that could probably shift their JV team out and still do okay, but especially on one of that first round. But who knows? Like Sartell is just one hot goaltender away from packing up their stuff for the season too.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. That's what makes that time of year so fun.
Oh, yeah.
I do think it'll be fun to see some scores, at least in Section 6, in the first round of the tournament, because they're so jumbled up when it comes, like I said, 3 through 7. I mean, there's really anybody can beat anybody.
Yep. It's going to be who wants it more that night, and who doesn't want to be done playing.
Well, we will be done for about 12 minutes or so. And we'll break for just a minute.
We're going to go give our loved ones a hug and grab some water. And
yeah, so Blades currently up 4-0 after 2, kind of in cruise control at this point for this one. And we'll be back for third period action. Thank you. All right, welcome back to Stern Arena, Wahpeton, North Dakota. Home of the Breckenridge Wahpeton Blades. Third period action just about to get underway. Addison Fink of the Wolverines and Isaiah Brushard of the Blades square off at center ice. Opening faceoff controlled by the Blades. Ekron will go back for the puck. Plays it to his partner Peterson. Up for his brother Michael Peterson. Gets through him and is shot back in by the Wolverines' Weir. Peterson now retreats behind his own net. Plays to his brother Michael again. This time the Blades are out clean. Ekron up ice for the Blades. Shot attempt. Blocked. Turned back in the corner. And the Wolverines will get there first. Cleared to the line where McDonald bats it down. Sends it back for Ekron, who's still low in the zone. Puck played all the way around for Brushard. He reverses ice for Peterson behind the net. Centering attempt for Ekron's shot and a goal. It was Charlie Ekron playing forward that shift.
Yeah, it was one of those times where the defenseman never really kind of went back and retreated. He got back in that D spot and ended up getting rewarded for the goal.
So Charlie Ekron snaps one by Grayson Meyer on the assist from Michael Peterson from behind the net, and probably 19 Isaiah Brushard. Puck will be played by Stav. He plays for Craig, dumped in by Lopez. Puck comes all the way around where the Wolverines and the Blades will do battle. Puck played out to the
For the Blades, at 37 seconds in the third period, number 24, Charlie Ekron, assisted on the play by number 4, Michael Peterson, and number 19, Isaiah Brushard. That's Ekron from Peterson and Brushard. That's good hockey.
So the Cassie line out there causing problems in the zone as Nepal had a couple, 3-4 looks from literally right in the blue paint. Meyer and him were almost doing a one-on-one battle there. Meyer finally gets his glove on it for the whistle. Nepal with the puck, walks out of the corner, reverses back down for Casty. He sidesteps the defender, plays it up the wall, now to the point. Craig loads one up, fires wide. Rebound for Nepal, fires, hits the side of the net. Kind of caught Meyer in between there. Comes back to him. Looks to step out. Plays down for Casty. Casty to Lopez. Scissor play back to Casty. Spins off a check. Now back down for Lopez. Puck is poked off of his stick, and the Wolverines will get control. Good stick by Casty to break up the clearing attempt. Blades kind of like a buzzsaw right now for the Wolverines, having trouble getting the clear. Puck makes its way to center ice. Stab breaks up the play. Nepal retreats, and back down the wall he goes. Steps through a man. Now Lopez with the puck. Plays it across for Casty. Shot and a goal.
Nice little feed by Jackson there. All D and goalie had eyes on Jackson Lopez, and Grayson was left all alone in the backside, and Lopez feeds him, and he knows what to do right there.
You could feel that one coming as the Blades had several.
And here we got some seniors coming out that started the game.
So Charlie Malmberg up on the wing. Puck will be played to Hoffman. He gains the red line and into the zone. Into the corner, centering attempt, gets through everybody, comes to Ritter. Now back down to Hoffman. Hoffman fires. That'll go over the glass. So a couple guys getting some looks here, which is good, I think, on both sides. As we have number 21, Andrew Kennedy, in for the Wolverines as well. Puck played to the line for Hoffman. He backhands it down into the zone. Weir picks it up for the Wolverines. Plays it up for Tucker. Tucker tries to play it back through neutral ice. Doesn't go anywhere. Weir picks up the puck. He's loses the puck on an attempted check from Ritter, and it'll come behind the Blades net where it'll be controlled by Brewer. Tip play for Hoffman. It's a 2-on-1 with Hoffman and
For the Blades at 2:22 in the third period, number 17, Grayson Casti, assisted on the play by number 12, Jackson Lopez, and number 28, Easton Neppel. That's Casti from Lopez and Neppel. That's good hockey.
Wadena with the puck in the Blade zone. They'll shoot it into the corner where it'll be controlled by Jack Ekron. He starts the play. He's up the ice. Charlie Malmberg on his wing. He'll dump it in. Charlie, first man there for the Blades. He misplays the puck, and it comes back up to Brushert. That'll get shot over the glass at 12:37 to go with run time going as the Blades have a 6-goal lead here in the third period.
Yeah, a little bit more comfortable. Wadena came out. They're not really firing all cylinders right now, so I think they're just content to let this game play out at this point. But Blades fully in control so far, still playing almost all the time down the left side of our viewing area and the left side of us.
I'd imagine the Wadena with the short bench gets a little bit tired as we see a shot by McDonald come in from high in the slot as Peterson had passed him the puck. Now Brushert sends it back down low for McDonald. He reverses for Peterson. Peterson looks to get away from a checker. Up the wall. Now back down for Ekron, who dove down again. He's behind the net. Attempts to center. That doesn't go anywhere, and he's knocked down to the ice. McDonald will control. Comes up the half wall. Turns and fires it back down low for Ekron. Controlled by Brushert. Leaves for Ekron. It's the Blades cycling low in the Wadena zone. Now McDonald behind the net. Looks to center. Gets it to Ekron. He's unable to control. Dump back in. Puck played to McDonald. And we have a high-sticking penalty?
Penalty on Charlie Ekron.
On Ekron. I didn't see that. It must have been behind the play. So the Blades' second penalty of the night. First one worked out well as they got a shorthanded goal.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened there, but yeah, the PK gets a little bit more work tonight. I guess you can never work on the PK enough in certain situations as we go down the stretch. Hopefully we don't have to be using it a whole lot.
So it'll be Hoffman and Brewer with Casti and Neppel up front. Puck played to the line, held in by Weir nicely. He comes down the wall, looks to center, gets to Fink, just gets through as that was broken up by the Blades at the last minute. A hip check thrown by Hoffman, and that was a hard hit, as it was not dirty as he had stuck out all hip, but forward Hudson Hathaway had leaned over and took that right in the head. As we get another penalty, I believe on Weir. Owen Weir of the Wolverines.
Yeah, that was a big hit. I feel for him. That's definitely was in a spot that would hurt, and a team that can't afford to lose any players. So hopefully he's all right. Hopefully he can join his squad again. He looks like he's okay over there.
He looks a bit shaken up as he was kind of reaching for the puck and leaned over, and Hoffman stuck his hip out. And there's no give in that part of somebody's body. I mean, he basically took a hip check to the face. As we'll play 4-on-4 hockey, we hope that he is okay. As Owen Weir is going to go to the box for a rough. McDonald behind the net gets the puck to Brushert. Brushert works up the wall, now kicks it back down for McDonald. He works off a hit. Regains control of the puck, plays it to the line for Peterson. Peterson snaps it across for Brewer, has to play it on his backhand. Shoots it back down for Brushert. Brushert, kind of a backhand play. I think McDonald was going to the net. Doesn't get there. And the Blades will regroup in their own end. Hoffman goes behind his own net. Comes back through neutral. into the Wadena zone, loads one up and shoots just wide, gets his own rebound, puts it towards the net. Meyer's going to cover that. And we'll get a whistle.
Yeah, that should pretty much kill Charlie Ekerin's penalty, which I don't think they can get out of the box until they drop the puck, though, right?
I believe you're correct in that.
Nope, they did let him out. Nope.
And now he'll come out. And McDonald on for the power play. Puck played over to Neppel. Neppel looks for McDonald, gets to him eventually. He regroups in his own end, spins off the wall. Plays it up for Lopez. He turns and fires down. Neppel's got to hurry. He'll get there. Plays it back down low as he took a big hit and was sent to the ice. Wadena's going to control the puck. And get the clear. Nope. Wadena's at full strength regardless. Blades power play still on the ice with Lopez at the point. Plays it down to Casti. Casti back to Peterson. Peterson double clutches back to Neppel on the backside. Tried to squeak it 5-hole. Puck laid in the slot for a minute. Lopez feathers one in for McDonald, puts a heel on it. Directs towards the net, but Meyer handles that. Pass to Peterson was broken up. Fink with the puck. Takes a hit from Casti. Big hit from Casti, and she's down. She's up again. Slow. Neppel with the puck in the slot. Backhands one in on Meyer.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit physical here, which you'd think that maybe would be winding down the other way. But as you see, players putting themselves in spots where they can take big hits, and the players not backing down on those hits either.
No, none of the hits dirty.
No.
Nobody's running or jumping, but just some solid hits here. And like you say, sometimes late in the game like that, things slow down, but not tonight. Blades control the face-off. Stav has some trouble. Fink pokes it through him. Craig backhands it off the wall to Peterson. This Klinert jumped on the ice for McDonald's. He took the last shift on the power play. So it's Peterson, Brushert, and Klinert. Klinert going to the net here. Shot on, in and out.
It's a nice shot there by Mikey Peterson.
That could have went in as it came out funny. Peterson off the wall with a good shot. Puck turned over by Brushert's forecheck. Now back to the Wolverines. They'll shoot it through neutral. Controlled by Stav. Stav gets the red and dumps it in. Peterson puts a check on the Wadena forward, but he's able to gain at least get the zone clear. Puck left for Wadena behind the net by Meyer, but the only person there was Klinert of the Blades. Now we see Wadena back through neutral. Dump the puck. Owen Weir will be there for the Wolverines. Him and Craig come together. Puck will be played by Brushert. He chips to himself, outskates a checker. Tries to cut to the middle, but nicely defended by Grady Schmid. Oh dear, big hit, and that'll get the referee's attention.
Yeah, well,
as Wadena player put into the Blades bench.
And you got the youth hockey hub guy catching it all, standing on the Blades bench.
So number 12, Hudson Hathaway, has not had a great third period here. He took a heavy hit from behind the net, and now he just got put into the Blades bench on a hit from Brushert and Hoffman. So as you were mentioning, they're picking up in the third period here. And Hathaway is going to stay on the ice, take the draw against Casti for the power play. And he should. He earned that one.
We've got a minor penalty assessed to the Blades at 11:44.
Hoffman clears the puck down the ice.
Isaiah Brusher, 2 minutes.
Meyer sets it up. He's got Neppel there. He's got to do something hurrying. Schmid puts a check on Neppel. Casti, good on the forecheck there. Turns it over. Neppel tries to center to him. That doesn't quite connect. Nice play by Casti to retain possession. Centering attempt. Broken up by Weir. He gets the puck up to Fink. Neppel back checks hard on her. Turns The puck off of her, and it's down into the Blades zone where it'll be controlled by Hoffman. And he loads one up and shoots it down. Looks like Neppel's going to win the race as him and Schmid come together. Big hit in the corner. Schmid again, bumped by Neppel. Fink with the puck now. Shoots it off the wall where Castile will turn it back down the ice. Schmid rips it across for Weir. Now he gets going. Good check and neutral ice. Bodies flying all over the place. As Neppel knocked down Tucker at center ice, and they're going to call a check from behind, or a cross check. We'll see.
That was
cross check.
Yeah, that was I don't know what he did there. It was just a bad penalty. Looked like he was going to go for a change, and then all of a sudden he just dumps his guy right there in the middle of the ice.
So the Blades 2 men short. Loose puck, McDonald racing for it. Kicks it to himself, not able to control as he was nearly on a breakaway on a 5-on-3.
2 minutes for cross-checking. What's the Wolverines on the 2-man advantage?
Wadena shoots it in. Be controlled by Peterson, though. He fires it down. That gets through Austin Luke. He can set up by Grayson Meyer behind his own net. Now turn back to the Blades line. Dumped in for Peterson. He shoots it around. He'll get back out to neutral as Rudrud couldn't control it. Hathaway now with pressure in his face. Steps through his check, kind of held on to his stick there. Now Peterson behind his own net escapes a checker and shoots it down.
Penalty coming here.
Another penalty. And that'll be on Wadena?
Wadena. Got a couple of high sticks here so far. A little bit. Seen a lot more high stick penalties called this year. I don't know if there's a rule change in the high school league or what. That's the second one tonight.
So it's 4 on?
Be 4-on-4.
There we go. 4-on-4. Pincinel and Ekron with Hoffman and Brewer on the blue line for the Blades. Turnover. Hathaway in. Backhands one in on Gilbertson. He gloves that easily.
Roughly 2 minutes left of the game here, so by the time they drop the puck, it'll be about 2 minutes left.
About 10 seconds to go in the penalty to Neppel. And the Blades will go back on the power play to pretty much finish the game. Hoffman controls. Blades control. Centering attempt. Goes just wide off a Pincinel's stick. He gets it back. Curls high. Leaves for Brewer. Brewer evades a check. Works it down low for Ritter. Ritter curls off the wall. Sends it across. Hoffman loads one up and fires. That's going to go wide and come all the way out of the zone. It'll be controlled by Gilbertson. He fires up for Hoffman. Chips for Brewer. Brewer off the wall. Cross corner dump. Nobody there for the Blades, and Weir will fire it back down the ice. Hit Ritter in the foot. And kind of popped up to central ice where the Blades played it back in. Minute to go in the game. A lot of back and forth here. Shot in on Gilbertson. Blocker to the corner. The Blades Peterson controls in his own end. Over to Brewer. Tips it off the wall. Not sure what's happening at this point in time as there's a lot of passes going to nobody. Finally, Pincinel catches a puck at center ice. Works it over to Ekron, who chips in. Will be controlled by Weir of the Wolverines. Schmid plays it in his own corner. Shins it up the wall, no icing. Peterson will be the first man there for the Blades. Has some trouble with behind the net. About 7 to go in the game here, and he's just going to eat it on the end wall.
Wisely eat the puck right there.
And the Blades will get a victory.
Blades winning 6-0 on senior night, out shooting Wadena Deer Creek 41-11. Didn't come without some fireworks there in the third, some big hits,
Yeah,
some penalties, and
game was rather sloppy at times. But yeah, a little bit of hitting. Kudos to the Wolverines for hanging in there and playing a good game. We hope that Hathaway's okay after that hit. And the Blades will regroup and get ready for Becker Big Lake on Saturday, who will be, I would say, a much tougher contest than tonight.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more speed, a lot less time and space in that game. So the Blades are going to have to be sharp, and they're going to have to really make sure they connect on their passes and be able to protect the puck, not give it up so easily.
I would agree. They'll have a lot less time, and it'll be a lot more intense game. Becker's a good team. They play the right way, and the Blades will have to be ready to go on Saturday after a long bus trip down to Princeton, Minnesota.
Yeah, that's probably the longest trip we take all year is to that trip right there. So a lot of miles put on this week.
A lot of miles put on this month. So Gilbertson gets the shutout, second of his career. That'll certainly help the statistics.
Oh, yeah. Goals against average goes down.
I guess the only statistic that matter is wins.
Yep.
And the Blades get one here tonight. And then what's probably been a pretty tough season for Wadena.
Yeah, it really has. And I feel for them because we were there not too long ago, sitting in that exact same position where, we had no seniors, and they have very little juniors, and they have to rely on freshmen and sophomores to lead the team. And you know what? Everything that I see in their youth level, they're doing a lot better. They have better numbers. It looks like they're doing the right things in the youth level, so I wouldn't say that Wadena is out for sure. They're just going to have to power through this tough time here.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see, like you had mentioned, programs go through this. Certainly ours went through this not that long ago, and you see it at various points around the state where a program will just have a thin couple of years, and they kind of got to battle through where they'll have a down year or two, and then usually they bounce back as they see the need for obviously players at the youth level, and someone will pick up that torch and do a little bit better recruiting at the youth level and retain players at the youth level. So we know that they're already well on their way there in that process, and they'll be back true to form. They're a proud program. They've been to the state tournament.
Yep.
Not all that long ago, and have played hockey for a long time in Wadena. So they'll be back before you know it.
Yeah, it usually just takes a couple of dads or moms that are dedicated, and next thing you know, there's life breathed back into the youth program, and that youth program pulls the high school program forward.
Anything else to add tonight?
No, well, we still got 4 games here in the next approximately a week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still kind of a gauntlet here the next week or so, and then it's going to be really interesting end of next week to start looking at the seedings and where we're going to have to make probably plans on a away game to start the playoffs.
Yeah, unfortunately, after all the excitement and fun around the home playoff game last year, unfortunate the Blades couldn't do it again this year. But here we are, just trying to claw their way up the standings as high as they can get and get the best matchup they can get in the first round, and go on the road and try to steal the game.
Yeah, that's all they can do.
Well, we appreciate you joining us tonight. It was a good one. 6-0 Blades with the win over Wadena on senior night. Home game action next week, Tuesday and Thursday.
Correct.
Against Little Falls on Thursday and Fergus on Tuesday. Those will be big-time tilts. That'll be some good hockey played next week here. And Blades will close out the season at River Lakes on the road, correct?
On the road, yeah. if you want to come watch some really good hockey, I'm going to guess that Tuesday and Thursday are going to be great experience here in our barn. So if you can make it down here, you're in town, please stop down. It's going to be a good atmosphere.
All right, we appreciate you tuning in. And again, as one more time, we'll just thank our sponsors for all your help and contributions to our program. Without you, none of this happens. And as you look around the rink tonight too, Coach, just a lot of youth players, a lot of kids here, a lot of little Blades in action that'll be wearing that Blades jersey in high school before too long. So all your contributions are greatly appreciated. It just helps build our program with equipment, meals, all the stuff we need to have a successful program, and we couldn't do it without you. So again, thank you. And if you do want to donate to the Blue Line Club, contact Tony Lopez. Again, all donations, 100% of donations made to the Blue Line Club go directly to the hockey program. So if you want to get involved with hockey, that is the best way that you can donate to our program. Again, thanks for watching, and we will catch up with you next week. Take care.